The Kalamazoo County Prosecutor says he'll push for a change in the state's sex offender registry law after learning a parole killer who admitted to raping and murdering women decades ago was not on that list.
Target 8 investigator Ken Kolker has this story.
There are 795 sex offenders registered in the city of Battle Creek. Brent Koster, who confessed to raping and killing 3 women, is not on that list. Koster was 15 when he and Danny Rains, who was 28, raped and murdered the women in Kalamazoo in 1972. A Western Michigan University student they had picked up hitchhiking, and 2 Chicago women who had stopped at a gas station.
He was completely and voluntarily a full participant in the violent rapes and murders of multiple women.
Koster pleaded guilty to second-degree murder in exchange for testifying against Rains.
The original judge in 1972 said on the record that Mr. Koster should never be released.
Rains, who raped and murdered a 4th woman on his own, died while serving life in prison. In January 2021, the Michigan Parole Board released Koster on parole over the Kalamazoo County Prosecutor's objections. He's now living in an apartment in Battle Creek.
I know that circumstances change, people change, but yet if you participate in the rape and murder of multiple women, some things I don't think can come back from.
The sister of victim Pamela Fear now says her family believed the conditions of parole would require Koster to register as a sex offender. Media reports at the time said as much.
My impression was he was supposed to be too, and I don't understand why he's not.
But the parole conditions obtained by Target 8 say nothing about the sex offender list.
He goes to prison, and 20-some years later, in the 1990s, completely unforeseeable in 1972, the Michigan legislature adopts and passes the Sex Offender Registration Act.
Murder is not on the list of offenses included, even if it's during a sexual assault.
When he's released on parole, the Michigan Department of Corrections says, well, he wasn't convicted of a sex offense. He was convicted of second-degree murder, so he doesn't have to be on the list.
The prosecutor said he learned all this after news broke this week that Koster, now 67, was offering his own taxi-like transportation service in Battle Creek, and that the Department of Corrections had ordered him to stop.
Our initial assessment is that the Department of Corrections is right. Mr. Koster legally can't be put on the Sex Offender Registration Act.
He says it might require a change in the law to fix it.
If you want to start making a list of people that should be on the list, I'm going to put Mr. Koster's name on it, absolutely for sure. He certainly is going to be much closer to the top of that list than many other people that are actually on it.
The prosecutor says it's not clear how long it would take to get him added to the list, if he's added at all. In Battle Creek, I'm Target investigator Ken Kolker.